Yes. Hello, hello.
We're back.
How beautiful you are, Miruna.
Thank you so much, my dear one.
Like a
Super,
tiny
super
shine.
grateful. There is a light right in my face, so just to let you know, it's not.
Well, guys, there's real light and fake light right now that we see. Both.
It's like a double light. Oh my
Amazing.
God.
Uh,
I'm so happy
welcome.
we're back.
Welcome everyone for 22nd episode.
20
We checked
seconds.
before.
Yeah, so that we don't say something that's not.
We are continuing the topic of authenticity. And I think it arose the importance to actually now understand how to embrace it and giving you concrete example of authenticity or inauthenticity. And we discussed last time of the of the journey of it, right? That is not a fixed concept, and that we get to have a journey of self-discovery towards authenticity. So yeah, we cannot wait to dive deeper into it because many people are aware of many things, but now the next question is, Macy, Miruna, how do we get to it, right? So we hope to answer you this question, and I'm gonna let my dear sister start.
I love it. Thank you so much. I love this journey, right? And this process. So we're going to answer as much as we can answer for ourselves right now. Let's see what comes up because we never over prepare since we want to be in a flow and inspiration of the moment. So we did talk about authenticity and what it is for us, for each one of us, and also that it is indeed a journey, a process, right? And then I think we really left it off at let's have some concrete examples of how does it feel to be authentic, and how does it look like, maybe how does it sound like in our personal lives, and when do we know we are not authentic. So I would actually do this check-in. I'm gonna start with me, and then I'm gonna ask you, and let's see with other examples, right? So when I'm not authentic, um, okay, well, let's start with when I'm not authentic. I I I don't feel at ease. It's like it's when I say or do something out of a fear, all right? Either if it's pleasing somebody, but I didn't take the time to actually listen to my needs, or check in if I actually want to do something or not. And I just straight away say, yeah, sure. Like, let's say it's with a nice, I want to be nice. I'm like, yeah, sure, I don't mind. Let's go, to the end of the earth and look at an iceberg, and I don't care about it. It's like, it's just, I say yes to something that I do not have any drive for nor passion for.
Mm.
Um, including, so I'm not talking about when I say yes to something to support somebody, because that I would have drive for, like literally. I would just say yes to something that I don't see any purpose in it, and my heart isn't in it, right? Let's put it this way. My heart isn't in it. I just mentally accept it. I go with it, but my heart and body are not liking it. And my mind is like, yeah, but because you said so, and what are they gonna think? And like, just usually it's an outer focus, like my actions or words are focused outwardly instead of from inside out.
Mm.
If I would be authentic, or when I am, because I'm very often, thank God, nowadays, very often more authentic than inauthentic, yay. um, I basically will be wholeheartedly in, and also courageous to say no. I don't want to do that. Actually, it doesn't speak to me at all. bless you, have fun, or I don't know, you go see the iceberg at the end of the earth, because literally I don't care to see it at all. I don't know if why am I talking about an iceberg? I don't know. It's just like that. That would be the last thing I want to see on the face of the earth, to go see an iceberg. That's just me, you know. Maybe some people are passionate about icebergs. So I would definitely say a no, regardless of a back fear, which is kind of normal with social conditioning, that are they gonna feel rejected? Are they gonna think, you know, I'm not there? Like whatever they're gonna think, right? A fear about what they're gonna think, they're gonna judge
Please
me.
them.
That, yeah, that would be like, well, you know, I mean, they're free to disagree or judge me, but I'm definitely not going to be
So
inauthentic.
a question interesting that could pertain to your example is, what would please me as of now, regardless of what pleased them?
Yes, yes. And
No,
that is very
that's
countercultural, in especially for women,
yes,
because
yes.
the
I've seen that.
conditioning, and it is a strong one, even if I see it, even if I've broken through it, especially when we're in like a group culture, let's say in a
Mm-hmm,
Romanian setup, right? You saying that is like literally you being the most rebellious person, that
mm-hmm,
like it's just what, it's usually it's very quickly labeled as selfish,
mm-hmm,
when to be honest, the spiritual process is self, like it is a self-centered experience, in the sense that I need to be with the self in the center of the
for,
self, and to
yeah,
understand that I'm responsible for the reality I'm creating. So it is very self-focused. Doesn't
yeah,
have to be self-centered in the sense that I am so focused on myself that people like and their
get it.
experiences, I don't care about them, lack of empathy.
But
No.
I want to push that thought, because the misconception is that, oh, I take care of others and I please others, thus I'm not self-centered. But what I've noticed with their energy is the opposite.
Yeah.
Because we have such this urge to please others, to be part of the norm, to be part of the group, it's actually self-serving, something that doesn't serve me. So there's a fear
Yes.
behind all of this, right? So it is
Yeah.
actually you. And I remember when I was younger, I used to say, I think everybody's selfish at the core, even when they do act generously, let's say, and help someone else,
Yeah.
is to actually make them feel good. And I remember saying that, but I didn't quite understand how I explain it. And today
Yeah.
is the day, guys. I meant by wanting to help and please others, your family, your friends, your acquaintances, and make yourself small deeply, is because you want to serve something inside of you to make you feel that you're valued enough in order to be this front of
Yes.
helping others. So your energy is not empowered. Your
I love that
energy
you say that.
is lacking, is it's small, it's fear-based.
I
And
love that
thus,
you
when
say.
you turn towards, you said it earlier, oneself, it's not in form of egocentrism, but more of you overflowing of love.
Yes.
So like this cup that trickles down,
Yes.
as you giving yourself more love, self-love, in a very healthy way, because there's a way
Yeah.
to communicate it, obviously, then you are overflowing of love. So that when you become available and helpful and generous towards others from this overflowing of love, then it comes from a different level of energy. It comes from an energy of truly wanting to do it because I have the choice of doing it, and truly wanting to help and please, not please, but help out of love, because you have a choice and you're not
I
doing it
love.
out of fear.
Yeah.
So it's very, very interesting, because people focus on the outer actions, but
Hmm.
they don't truly understand the energy or the intention behind.
I just love that you say that. I'm so happy because I think this is the core of the authentic living versus inauthentic living. The 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 order of the beingness and then the doingness. As you
Mm.
really pointed it. I would be inauthentic when I say that I help others. So because I always, I'm a helpful person, I love to help them, but you're like obviously overly being outside of yourself, you know, you're like, you're sometimes you're super depleted, or you can't, you're enabled to take care of yourself. You're just all the time with other people and talking about how you help them. This is really more like through them, I give myself value from the outside in. Whereas actually, if I'm overflowing, that's what I mean by being wholeheartedly filled, or already, my cup is full. Not
Mhm.
only am I giving myself love, I'm kind of like in the receival of love mode. I am love flowing. And then it just an overflow, but it has nothing, my service has nothing to do with my value. Let's say my value is already in overflow. I'm already valuable because I'm who I am already.
Mm.
And then I can give. And that's when you can catch yourself and be like, when you know that there's no strings attached, you giving doesn't take anything, nor does add something to you.
And no expectations in return.
No expectations, no holding, like, you know, people with a list, like, oh, I helped you in September 2023, and then I helped you again. No. Like, first of all, it wasn't really you. It's, if you're a servant of the love of God, it's just the love of God. It's like, you know, so with no strings attached, no points of, oh, you remember that time and that time, and I gave you that, so I'm important. When these are masks, this is an inauthentic way of living. It is not, no matter how popular it may seem, and no matter how many people are doing it, because there's many people, and I've been actually one of those people. I had to catch myself when I was in my savior mode all the time. It was like it was starting wonderfully. I was in service, and then the ego was like, ah, oh, look at you, you're such a kind person, and then they tell you, and la la la. So it was, and then I would lose myself in an over giving and over focused outside. And
Mhm.
that's when my value, let's say my inner value, was going down, of course, because if you're not
Yeah.
present inside, you don't know how to fill your own cup. You don't know how to, basically, how to expand your own energy and be happy regardless of the doing, or of whatever is outside that.
Mhm. I
So
love this.
I
And
really had to catch myself and really be honest.
I love this because during my journey, that's what happened. I think I found this phrase and I reused it as a mantra that was for me personally because I'm very exuberant, very I identify, if I want to say it like that, my ego self, exuberant, very social, very extrovert. So I my social battery is much higher than most people I know around, right? And I remember telling myself, it's not because I can do it that I should do it. And in my past, like you, I could do so much. I could help so much because I had the energy, quote unquote. I could help people. I could always reach out, and I associated, like you say, my ability to help others as a value. The more I help people, the more I'm valued, the more I can be important for those people, right? And then over time, and I think we're going to touch base with that today, when I got transformed and as I embrace more and more my authenticity, I'm still this bubbly person and this very extrovert person. And you get to understand more your social battery, you get to understand more your boundaries, and you get to understand more when it feels right to say no or yes to things, right? Um, and for me personally, on the, let's say, the other side of my authenticity journey, today I I help, if not more generously, of my time and love, but in a less energetically spending, wasting energy way. So it's more like easy to be generous and helping, and you want to do more of that out of love. before I used to remember when I was going through my process, I used to say, well, if it doesn't bring me money, remuneration, or value of why I'm helping people, like that was my process. At the beginning, I was like, I'm helping too much, and then I grew, more mature, stronger. I was like, okay, well, now I need to spend my time in a smart way and start allocating my resources in a purpose, because I'm building a life, I'm building a career, I want to build a financial steady way of living. So I remember telling myself, well, I love making cards and crafting, but Macy, where does that gonna bring? It's not going to make you any money. So I remember putting aside crafting, my love for crafting on the side. Another friend of mine, I would help her decorate for an event. And in my head, I remember telling myself, well, Macy, it's not going to bring you any means of revenue or any quality for a future career. So I was like so focused on the outcomes of it. And I was stopping myself from doing things that I loved, because being a multi-potential is something that you love touching little things because it stimulates you. But I didn't see it as an advantage back then. I saw it as a um as a waste of time, of energy, right? And now fast forward to my journey today, I get to do all of those things, plus respecting my value and my boundaries, and on top of it, having time to be generous of my time and love outpouring. Because the better it gets, guys, the better it gets. So the better you are improving yourself, discovering yourself, growing spiritually, and in the mindset way, the easier it gets in your life. Uh, So yeah, I wanted to share that before we move forward, because we're gonna touch base with the heart thing, but yeah.
I love that. Thank you for
Yeah.
sharing that.
Yeah, as you were talking, I was realizing this for myself.
I think it's very pertinent, and it's a very capitalist perspective when you calculate, you're
What
giving in the
outcomes
bank.
does it serve me, you
Yeah,
know?
yeah. And then there is a positioning of when I give, I must receive. It's like I find that to be again capitalism, more business oriented. Um, yeah, I we're not built. I say we because I know you're not built like that.
No.
And it's another way of living and of seeing the world,
Mm.
and it's a road of authenticity, because when if you let's say embrace that approach, with the giving and what am I getting, it's basically making you sooner or later be inauthentic, because
Yeah.
the mind is basically calculating,
Well, little did I
in
know I was
count.
authentic. I was inauthentic, exactly. I was truly, and when I got my awakening on top of it, I awakened all my creative part of myself. And I realized up until my early 20s, I was embracing my very masculine, mental, logical part of me. I was excelling in maths. I was excelling in everything logical. And for
Mm.
so long, I thought that was it. That was me because I was so good at it. So I'm here, guys, to remind you that it's not because you're good in something that it's actually your true self. I'm not saying you should embrace what I've journeyed. I'm not saying everybody should be creative and enjoy life. It's okay to want fame, popularity, success, monetary right now, if that's what it is for you in your journey, right? If you're feeling okay with that and you're feeling aligned with it and you're, how should I say, empowered through this, the work you're doing and your everyday lifestyle, that's fine, guys. All we're asking to you for you is to explore your options of being, explore what works for you, because once I allowed myself to be creative, and I've always been like, all the signs were there, guys. Like, it's not like if it was out of nowhere. I was always creative from such a young age. I was crafting so many things. I was, you know, and my logical part of my brain of myself was just like, Macy, it's not gonna bring you anything in life. So I put it aside. And when I chose to really embrace what was passionate for me, I think that's the best service you can do yourself, guys. Because there's such an awakening of new found energy and love and confidence. Let's talk about confidence. I think that what you mentioned earlier, how to discern when you're authentic and unauthentic, is looking within. And I know it comes with practice, guys. I know if all your life you've been trained to be logical, left brain, and you've succeeded in that because you got results, I get it. I get it. It becomes more difficult to understand what works for you or not and discern what is your authenticity. Many of my clients at a certain age stop questioning that about themselves, right? Because it's too uncomfortable. You've built a life on a persona that you give yourself, and detaching yourself from this persona can be scary. But we're not asking you to completely erase all of this persona in one day, guys. We're just asking you to take a little leap of faith towards new option, new exploration for yourself. See what passionates you and energizes you within yourself. That
Yeah,
would be for me my first tip towards finding your authenticity, guys. Write down, like close your eyes, take deep breath. Not saying that you have to meditate, but just turn towards yourself, take 3 deep breaths, and then write down what passionates me, what energizes me.
I
And it
love.
doesn't have to do something about the job or business, just simple thing. Is it walking in nature? Is it waking up at 5 a.m.? Is it painting? Is it playing a certain type of sport? Is it composing on a piano? Is it, we all have a creative part, by the way, but I'm shooting out there some possibilities. Is it drawing? Is it just going to a new park and discover a park? Is it, being by the water? Anything, guys. The sky is the limit. Just allow yourself to know what energizes you, what brings joy in your spirit.
I love that invitation. I love that invitation, and I love what you said with for me, it's not a question of the brain necessarily, because there are very authentic people who are very logical and they're excellent at what they do, and that's beautiful. They're literally built to build to build stuff and to build systems and to build and to program. That's excellent. The only thing would be that the heart cannot miss. So we can be more inclined to the right, like more
Mm-hmm.
artisty, or we
Mm-hmm.
can be more inclined to the left, like really orderly. But the
Mm-hmm.
both, we need the heart. It's kind of like having a tree with branches but no trunk and roots. So
Mm-hmm.
it's more about the heart, and
Mm-hmm.
not that it's more. The heart element cannot miss, and the heart will be kind of the engine that will push us into what I most love from the list is to build sheds. Like my passion is to build sheds. I like to build programs. Or the other one can be, okay, my passion is to draw and create gardens in beautiful ways. Both of them, we will need our hearts so that we don't stay in our brains and be like, okay, but is that monetizable? What am I going to get in return? Like, so that we don't stay in the calculus area, because what prevents us from not doing what we most love? It's that part, right, of ourselves. It's like,
Yeah, that
what am I
stops.
going to get? Is that a waste of time? It's a judgment. It's really freeing ourselves from this judgment, or the conditioning. Why are you conditioning your art? Okay, but I don't
Mm,
know what's going to bring me. Well, you're never going to know anyway, because you're not doing it. Like, you're not creating it. So it's kind of like literally denying ourselves to do this most authentic, passionate thing, because the inauthentic part of us is like judging it to be, yeah, I don't think that's monetizable. Why does it have to be? Who says? Yeah, but
Mhm.
I'm gonna start. No, you're not going to start. You can do something on the side, and in parallel, you can do your passion. Like, you can do both. You don't have to choose now. And then, generally speaking, naturally, you're gonna want to do only that. Like, this is what happens, right? To entrepreneurs, multi-passionate. Yeah, you might do in parallel for a while, but then you're gonna want to go all the way in. And usually that's the goal. In my own experience, I know that in your own experience, it's like, and one day I'll only do that. So if that is the most authentic thing, obviously you want it, right? But um, the blockage of not doing it, just saying that this is what I would really love to do, but I can't, that's not following authenticity. That's just supporting the inner prison of the mind
Mm.
that is based on a lie. Is like, it's not even true that you have to monetize from the beginning, or that you have to, or that you can't do it because it's not practical. Putting the practical, it's kind of just operating from a very small minded part of you, and the whole other part of you that includes your heart and your soul, they don't get a say. You just pretend you're just that point, right? It's like, yeah, just the practical side. If it's not practical, I ain't doing it. It's foolish. I think it's foolish to deny all parts of yourself and to not know them. I find that to be very foolish and ignorant.
Yeah. So
So,
I love this. I love this so much. And I feel like to follow that point is how now do people honor those parts? Because like you mentioned, and as I'm working with my clients, I realize how we deny and ignore and not acknowledge our hard part. And more specifically, if you want to understand it, in the emotional part, the feeling part, the intuition part, because it's not matching with the brain. That's logistics, that's justifying, that's understanding the seen world. All the unseen is not being taught and learned. So
yeah.
people haven't learned to embrace it and understand it. And like you mentioned, Miruna, authenticity is directly linked with your inner guidance, your heart soul identity, let's say it like that, your intuition, your feelings, your
Yeah.
emotions. I know that emotions are often villainized, I find,
Hmm.
but they do serve a purpose. That's going to be for another episode.
Yeah.
And thus, there is this big part, even a big part actually, that is being ignored, like you said, that's not being honored. And I think what can help you to start off, because I understand, guys, we talked to you about passion. If right now you're working in a job that brings you money, good money, and you're stable about it, and it serves you, and you're gonna probably say it pays the bill, it helps me support my family. I get it, guys. You cannot jump from this position to get to another position where the complete opposite, let's say, of your passion is something that could actually not bring you there, and you're not there. I told you it's a journey. We don't expect you to jump that way. But if you get to know that, let's say in your work field, it's not a passion, but you discover something other a passion that doesn't provide you the financial needs, you can get to tiptoe around it. Okay, I have my full-time job, I have my responsibility with my family. Let me do that in a small dosage
Yes.
for my own pleasure, passion. Do it
Yes.
on the side, guys, if it needs to, but allow yourself to discover this part of you.
Yeah. And
Now,
acknowledge it and allow it. Yeah. Yeah.
exactly. Also, now, let's say to help you guys step into your authenticity, during different settings. Per se, it's friends out, you know, going out with friends, going out with your family, social settings, interpersonal relationship. Like there's different situations in your daily life that's gonna allow you to practice the practice, guys, to practice your authenticity. So sometimes, and it comes with practice, obviously, I know, guys, but sometimes for me, it comes quickly now. I know more and more. Not that I know the answer to my question, but I know more and more when I have to ask myself this question and my boundaries. So you ask yourself, let's say there's a tug, like you said earlier at the beginning, you said there's an uneasiness. There's a tug that makes you like, I don't want to do that or say
Mm-hmm.
that. There's a
Mm-hmm.
pull somewhere else. That's the
Yeah.
moment.
Yeah.
That is a cue. And then you close, well, obviously, I know you cannot always close your eyes, but if you can, allow yourself to close your eyes so you make out attraction to all your outcomes, all your environment, and you close your eyes and you say, what do I really want to do right now? Or say, or whatever, the action or not action. And focus within. The answers lies already within, guys. It's not like, well, Macy, I don't know who I am. I don't know what my authenticity is. I don't know what I love. I don't know what's my passion. Guys, it's already within. It's just that you haven't learned to uncover them. It's the answers are already within. The answers to how do I know when I should say no or yes? The answers to how do I know if I have a big social battery or not? The answer to how do I know if I should continue to read this career or not, in this career path, in this job or not? The answer to how do I know if I should keep going in this relationship with this partner or not? The answer to how do I know if I should stay with this friend or not as a friendship in my relationship? How do I know if it's toxic or not? The answer is within. Now, are we ready to act upon it or not is another story. But the answer within, it's
Yeah.
already there and it's going to give you cues, guys. If you ask it, if you pray for it, if you put your intention out there, the answers and the clues will come to you drop by drop.
Totally.
That's how
Totally.
it works, guys. You ask, you receive. If you don't ask, you will never have, I don't want to say never, obviously, because everything comes to, we're here for a purpose, but
Yeah.
you won't have those answers as clearly. But if you ask clearly for, like a simple request, I call that a
Yeah.
prayer, but whatever you may call it, universe, God, anything you want to pray to or ask for, please show me signs, clear signs, or show me cues to learn more about my authenticity. That's
And
it.
the truth shall set you free. Amen. Time flew and we need to wrap it up. I just love that so much. I hope everybody will take up on your invitation. Seek for the truth and you shall find it. And I would just add that the fact that you allow yourself to hear the truth doesn't mean you have to act upon it right away. People get very scared of, oh my God, if I know what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna have to quit my job tomorrow. See how great the people are to know the truth. The fact that you don't have to do it right away, but you can acknowledge it and allow yourself to actually say the truth, because that would actually give you peace. And then once you say the truth, you can give yourself time. You can say, listen, I hear that part of me. I really want to quit tomorrow, but another part of me wants to eat tomorrow. So I'm going to give myself 3 months, but I'm going to build up a plan, and then I'm going to quit. This is how I actually quit one time. I gave myself five. I couldn't sleep peacefully because I didn't want to acknowledge the truth. So I just said, you know what? I need to acknowledge this truth. Like, I need to quit this job and become an entrepreneur. I don't know how, I'm going to figure it out. I literally wrote my letter of resignation. I dated it. I acknowledged that truth. And then I'm like, okay, we're going to build a plan. See you in 6 months when I'm going to quit. And that was the letter of resignation. So, having tried the kamikaze way, where I quit, goodbye.
Kamikaze.
that too. I mean, I did that too. And then having found another way, a bridging way, a more gradual way in which I can offer different parts of myself with different needs, I can say there's a million different ways. But it starts with your invitation. Right here and now, I allow myself to hear and speak this truth. I don't need to act upon it right now, but I need to acknowledge it so I can sleep peacefully at night. And then I will find my plan, timing, how to, whatever.
Yeah.
So this being said, it was such a beautiful moment together.
Yes. Oh my gosh. Oh, I love this topic so much. And we thank you so much, guys. Time has flown. We love you. And I hope that everything we have discussed upon is something that relates to you and then helps you discover your self-discovery path towards authenticity.
Amen to that. Beautifully said. Thank you all. We'll see you next time. Thank you, my dear one. You're amazing. So inspiring.
Bye.
Bye.